Hello, welcome back to the Trevor May Baseball channel. And this is, actually, I don't really know what I want to title this, so I'm going to say both titles, and I want you guys to pick down in the comments what we want to title this section. But this is Baseball is Alive. Cut. This is Baseball. I know you noticed that I did my hair for you today. You're welcome. This is an idea I had to do quick, topical videos that are based on what's happening right now in the game of baseball and doing them fast. It's a new skill I'm learning. This is part of my transition into being this. Let's get into it with the first topic. I didn't know it was going to happen this quickly and that I was going to be able to do it literally the day I have the idea, but alas, here we are. It's been a weird offseason for Anthony Rendon. There's been a couple instances in which basically fans and media members alike have been left scratching their heads on comments made because it doesn't seem like he's too happy playing baseball. We had a lot happen actually in the last 12 months. If you remember, first series of the year, he has the altercation with the A's fan. Then we had interactions with the media after that. No hablo inglés. Then we get to the offseason and he goes on a podcast and mentions that the season might be too long. So my man, Chris Rose, made a great video on this. And I believe Jolly Olive joins him on this episode, and they kind of just comment really quickly on the scenario. Credit to everyone who made the video, John Boy Media, Chris, and the original creator, which I do believe they credit as well. So pay attention for that.
Anthony Rendon, who really doesn't speak to the media very much at all, ended up doing the podcast of one Jack Vita. Jack did ask Anthony Rendon if you could change one thing about baseball, what would it be? And here's his answer.
We got to shorten the season, man. It's too many dang games. 162 games in 185, 3 days, whatever it is. No, we got to shorten this bad boy up.
Rendon took a lot of crap, particularly on social media for that. Should he be?
I do think he deserves the crap he's getting a little bit. When's the last time that Rendon played 148 games, the number that he suggested? When's the last time he hit that number? I believe it was 2019, which is coming up on 5 years ago. So this is just the last thing you want to hear from that kind of guy, earning that kind of money, playing that kind of games. So it's a tough situation for Angels fans.
Also, shout out to the Jack Vita Show for getting the original video and to make sure that I give you your love that you deserve. Nice job. That was one of the first things this offseason. Now, yes, there was an uproar for a while as the internet goes. You know, we have about a week cycle. There wasn't a lot going on in baseball either. If that had turned during the season, we would have talked about it for exactly 12 hours. It wasn't a huge deal, but it just kind of tracked with a lot of the behavior. He doesn't seem like he's super happy with the situation at the moment, which I will comment on in just a second. Then, yesterday, February 19th, in a press conference at Angel Spring Training, Anthony says this: baseball has never been a top priority for me. It's never been a top priority for me. This is a job. I do this to make a living. My faith, my family come first before this job. So if those things come before it, I'm leaving. There's a unique perspective here, and I feel like every single take on this subject has been outrage on the behalf of fans because of the amount of money he's being paid. And that is completely and utterly fine. It's fine. Like, of course, that would be really frustrating because you are paying for a product, and to constantly hear that the person isn't into the thing they're doing on the field, it's almost like an actor saying, "Yeah, I don't really like acting. Like, I'm not really into it." Like if an actor was out there just going, "Man, I'm not really like immersed," it's not as good of an experience. And that's kind of the same way. It's like a pro wrestler, same way. You want the best version of whatever that entertainment is because that is the job. And I understand that frustration. I understand. I get it. I totally get the reason that this would be rubbing people the wrong way. However, the concept of wanting to retire from a professional sport, regardless of how much money is being made, is a subject that I just so happen to have a lot of experience with. So let's see if we can really identify the problem here and see what a possible solution might be. And so I met Anthony early in his career. I met him right after he was drafted. I was with basically a bunch of Nationals guys in Harrisburg. We just were hanging out like after a day game, I think, and first time meeting a bunch of them. And we were just talking and, talking about like what's going on in other sports and like the NBA and college. And he was like how much he loves college basketball and how much he loves playing basketball. And there was like a comment that he said that didn't really set off any alarm bells in my head at all, because I also identified with what he was saying. He said, man, like I wish I was like this good at basketball. Like I wish I was good at basketball as I was at baseball. That's what he wants to spend his free time doing, shooting hoops and stuff. This was in 2014, so I don't know if this has changed, but he likes basketball. And he's like, man, I think I would like playing basketball a lot professionally. Which, if you think about it, when you're not 20, like I was, you're a baseball player. Like it's going to take a lot of commitment in order to, achieve what you're going to achieve here. I was just like anybody else under the assumption that in order to play in the big leagues at all, you have to be obsessed and you have to think about it every moment of every day. But like baseball is life is a very common term, and that is true for the vast majority of people. Like you have to put in insane amounts of work to the point where like it's an obsession. But I'm here to tell you, not everyone has to do that. You'd probably be blown away on how much work comparatively that Mike Trout does than like to other people. Like, I bet you it's pretty close. I bet you there are some people on the team that work harder than him because they have to. Some guys don't have to work as hard as others. That's just true. He is wildly talented naturally. That was apparent immediately when we played against him. Today's word is homemade graham cracker. Comments? These are good. So let me propose a possible scenario here. What if you grew up playing baseball in Texas? You're very good. It gets you a scholarship to Rice, one of the best academic schools and baseball schools in the United States. Okay? You're then drafted in the first round and you get a big league contract. He's one of the last people to do that, by the way. $6 million out of the draft. That's all wonderful things that should make you really happy and excited. And it's the fulfillment of a dream. But what if you enjoy playing the game, but you're realizing you don't enjoy all the other things that come along with it? The travel, the long nights, the bus rides, the being away from your family constantly, the kind of being a nomad. What if you don't like that stuff? I know I didn't. But now you've been paid all this money and you have all these expectations. And so you just keep on going. You're like, hey, everyone else says you get to where I'm at and the excitement and the rush and all that stuff kind of comes along with it. And then it just never fully does. It's always like, yeah, it's fun. It's good. I like it. But it's not what I think about all day, every day. What do you do when that happens? Just ask yourself that. What if you feel like nobody really understands why, and you don't really understand why? Like, you should be wildly happy, but you're just kind of okay, and it's fine. But you thought it would be more than that. What do? I felt the same way, and it took a long time to find a way to articulate that and explain it. It took forever. I didn't even know that's what was happening till like years and years into I was in the big leagues. I was playing for 10 years before I even had any of these thoughts. Like, what if you're too good at something and you're pigeonholed, and the expectation is bigger than your ability to quit? I think that in a perfect world, he would love to be fully bought in. He would love to be healthy. I don't think he wants this. He's not searching for it. So then you got to ask yourself, like, what else is going on? Professional athletes have specific responsibilities, I think, to their team, to the fans, and to their organization. Okay? And then there's other things that is kind of out of their control at times. Being the best player on the planet every single year, I don't think that's something you can expect. Or even being the best version of themselves every year. What you can expect is them to try to be the best version of themselves, to do the work that is necessary to do that. But it's not always going to happen because there's another guy trying to beat you. You also can't expect for a player to be as invested and to feel everything that you're feeling, exactly the way you're feeling it. If you have been a fan of a team for 30 years and they sign to that team, they simply don't have the connection to the team that you have. It's just, they don't have it. They just didn't grow up and they don't have the history that you have. There's going to be a disconnect there. So like living up to your contract, that is subjective. It means different things to different people. Now, all of that said, and I feel like some of the criticism goes in those directions. Like, if I were paid that much money, I would. Well, you're not him. That doesn't matter. But what I do say, and I think that Anthony could do a much better job of, is communicating, showing that he's doing everything that he can to give everything he has and to truly buy in and enjoy himself, that he wants those things. At the end of the day, that is part of doing this for a living. And I think that a lot of the things he's doing and he's saying are going contrary to that, and the vitriol he is receiving is warranted for the most part. It comes down to optics. It comes down to perspective. And I can't stress this enough. This is literally the driver for every single thing all the time. What does it look like? It drives me crazy, but it's reality. So I have a question for you guys. What would you like to see? What would remedy this situation? Would you like put on a smile and white knuckle your way through it? Would you like him just to kind of make the decision and retire if he wants to retire? Or would you like him to give all of his money back? What would you like him to do? Let me know down in the comments. This is a weird one. It is not a good look. It is frustrating, and I totally understand that. So does he hate baseball? No. But does he like baseball as much as some other fans and some other people in a lot of the league? No. Both those things can exist. It definitely isn't a good look. Anyway, that's the video. That's all I had. I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. Have a good one. Bye.